Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another Friday Kingdom Fundraisers Live, and I am Willie Peterson, your host. I'm glad to be with you today. It's a great day. It's been an interesting week. I'm having an interesting day, and I pray that you all are too. I've been on the calls this morning. I'm very excited because when you think about the reach that we're trying to help individuals and try to encourage individuals and educate as well as coach and counsel and train kingdom fundraisers, I'm getting calls today, specifically even just today, from the UK, from Kenya, from Pakistan, just outright phone calls that came in through DM, and I answered them today. I don't always do it, but today I was led to answer those calls. And again, getting people asking questions from there. This week, very interesting, dear brother, friend of mine, Brother Gerald from DC, and then my dear sister Jalen from Indianapolis. People who are connecting with us all over the world, talking about fundraising. We have Cindy in California. We got Steve. We pray for Steve and the loss of his loved one in Phoenix. And I'm telling you, people are coming, Jose in Houston, and the ambassadors, the two young ladies out of Atlanta, joining this Kingdom fundraising group. And we're trying to expand, and we want you to be a part of this. And I'm grateful to God for the people that are coming on board. And I'm going to start off before we get into all the hellos and everything. I just want to say, pray for us. God is moving. I know He is. He's doing some awesome things in this group, in this organization, with all of you all. And I don't want to give any credit to the opposition, who I call Satan. You know who he is. But there are some things that's blocking our blessings and our progress and my moving forward. And I'm not sure what it is, how it's happening, but I'm praying. And I'm standing and I'm asking for each one of you all to be praying with me, with us, as we ask God to just break open. My brother, my dear friend, Dr. Stan Breakthrough Harris, that's his term. He always says breakthrough. And I'm asking God for a breakthrough. We need that now. And that's why we're kind of talking about today, this topic about Kingdom Fundraiser Live and shifting the landscape and seeing how so many things are going on out here today in political and economical and spiritual, physical, mental. And how do we shift the landscape to be focused on that which God has called you and I to do in the field? I was sharing with someone on yesterday. I got a group out of Jacksonville, Sister Lizzie in Rosewood. When I tell you there's a team, a group of individuals, Dr. Eva right here, who are coming on board with us. There is a group of individuals who are looking to serve God in their area and the calling and the gifting that God has given us. Come on, somebody. And what we have to do is be praying for one another. I hope all of you all are part of the 1 Minute Prayer International Ministry that I was sharing with the brother, the pastor in Kenya and the pastor in Pakistan today. We all need to be partnering together in prayer. It's one thing for me to just lead a ministry. No. This is a movement, even as it relates to Kingdom Fundraisers, to help train, educate individuals to serve God in their neighborhood, to meet the needs of the people that we serve. I got a great call from Sister Debbie yesterday. I'm excited to know and to hear more about what they're doing in her city, because she called and they were awarded a $1.9 million grant. I'm hoping she'll share the testimony that, how we partnered a year ago on one project, and it took forever to come to play. And here he is this year. She is to start off a whole year later with that type of funding. Sister Camille here, I'm calling them out because I want us to be praying for those individuals. And we just got, some extra funding for the program here re-awarded to us. And if I can do it, you can too. But one of those things in shifting this, as I'm talking about shifting the landscape, one of the ways to do that, we've got to be prayer warriors. Kingdom fundraiser prayer warriors. There ain't nothing wrong with praying for your organization and going into your meetings before you go in and stopping and praying. So for me, the very first part of our shift today in our lesson is let's pray. Because I know if there's things in the way of trying to hinder what we're doing, I know that there's things hindering what you're doing. And it's great to have people get breakthroughs like Sister Jalen and like Sister Debbie, who are getting breakthroughs in their area, Sister Camille. But, some of us, we need breakthroughs, and I'm praying for your breakthrough. Now, let me go to my brother on. He's online this morning. We're praying for a breakthrough with the health of his wife. Hello. Good afternoon, brother. And I'm glad to see you, Brother Mark. And I know you tell your family, whenever I said tell your family, I said hello. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Let's support each other and let's share with this network. If you know somebody looking for fundraising ideas and help and education, listen, tell them about this so that they can join it. Connect with me at wepeat.inc.com. I just updated, Brother Mark, on the Facebook page, the calendar link, because I had some people telling me they couldn't connect. So I redid it and I updated it so you can go on. It's already placed on the Facebook page. If you want to grab it off there and put it on the web page so that they can connect with our candidly, and get connected for one-on-ones. Put that on there. But if you're looking to connect, go to the web page. Then what I always ask every week, look, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and all of this information we give you every week is right there. You can go back several years and actually, grab some of the lessons that we've been teaching because, why not? It's free. You can contract. I'd love to have a contract with you to train your organization, to do your strategic plan, to do your organizational development, to show you how to fundraise and help your finances grow. I want to do that for you. But some of these things, we can teach you how to do it yourself. So don't forget to do that. And connect with Linktree. Go to our Linktree page right there. Subscribe there. And then you can connect to all of our social media pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of them are there. And you can connect to them and you can keep up with what we're trying to do in order, again, to educate you. So you can never go wrong praying for your organization. I hear that, Brother Mark. You can never go wrong. And that's what we want to be able to do. And so there it is. Wow. You fast, my brother. You can connect with me and schedule a one-on-one. And there's also a group site, but I need to know if it's going to be more than 4 or 5 of you all. You can connect to us right there at the Candidly. As you can see, the Calendly, I've never said right.com, Repeat Inc. and Discovery Session, so you can get your one-on-one session. There is a form on there where you need to fill out to give me an outline of what you're doing, what you want to do, and actually why we're having this conversation. All right, so I get to review it, and I have known in advance what's going on with you and what you might want or what you might need. Is that all right? And so please don't hesitate to go to that and to do so. Well, Mark, I think it's time for me to be able to give. I'm trying to lower my, y'all forgive me for looking away, trying to see if I can lower my table. I feel like I'm looking up. Okay, now, have I given out everything today, Mark? Let me know if I need to update anything else. We're going to talk a little bit more about the release of our books. And that's one of the reasons why I'm asking you all to start this thing off with prayer. Let me see. Last week, I know I got it. 2 weeks, I started off a week or so ago talking about our 1-minute prayer. And we talked about faith-based fundraising made simple. And one of those things I talked about in the faith-based fundraising made simple was there was 5 bonus things that I talked about. I'm trying to find them here. I know, when you print like I do, you get stuff all over the place. There it is. There it is, Brother Willie. I talked about in our faith-based fundraising made simple. I gave you guys a 5-minute fundraising plan or tips. I'm going to review them again, but the first one, as I said this morning, was pray. I don't get up any day of the week without spending time in prayer first. Let me tell you, when I wake up doing that. And I think that's a great thing for you, for your organization, because we get things slow us down, and especially we get in a hurry. So the five, that's the first thing you're getting from me today as it relates to how to make this shift, shifting it in the landscape. Again, shifting the landscape, which is the topic today. And that's because when you look at the political landscape we're in now, when you look at the economical landscape we're in, when you look at the spiritual landscape that we're in, when we look at our physical landscape, I don't know about you, but I've had physical issues all week long. My brother Mark and his family have had some physical issues all week long. When we look at the landscape, the overall look of things, and then our mental, how are we handling it? When trouble comes on the job or in your business, how are you handling that? When things are going wrong or going crazy at home, and even when things are going right, to have the right mindset to make sure you're doing things right and trying to keep them right. Because I don't know about you, because trouble comes, things happen, sometimes expected and unexpected. So how are you handling them in the landscape of all of these other scenarios? Again, the landscape of economics, the landscape of political, and you don't care what country you're in, there's always a political landscape that we have to keep an eye on. Bible said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and God, which is God. It means I need to know what Caesar is doing. And here in the United States, when we have a new president, number 47, and he is shifting the landscape. Come on, somebody. And as he's shifting the landscape, we can whine and complain or whatever, but it's my job as a fundraiser, grant writer, as an executive of a nonprofit organization, to know and to understand what the landscape is like in order for me to help the people that God has called me to serve. One of the programs, good example, if I'm going to help these individuals go to school to become a certified nursing assistant, that I need to know what schools are open, what funding's out there, how long they need to go. I need to understand the landscape. If I'm going to help you, that's what I'm actually doing with you right now, helping you understand the landscape of fundraising and grant writing and finance, and understand I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a coach, a person that studies what's going on out in the landscape, in the political world, in the economic world, in the education world. Why? So I can come back and I can talk to you and I can show you what's going on in this landscape. Why? In order to help you in this political landscape that we're in. Political? Huh? Economical? It's important for us to know what's going on economically so that if money is here, you can go get grants in order to do this. If you're doing a tutoring program, you got to educate your kids, you should feed them kids, they might need transportation. So just giving you those three for an example. So how do you supply that for your organization if you're not knowing what the landscape is like? So the first thing we do is pray. Then we set clear goals. That's what we're talking about right now. So in order to do the landscape, the political landscape, we need to understand the goal. Your goal. What do you want to accomplish? What is your narrative? What is your have you ever done a logic model? I'm teaching people now how to do this logic model, Mark. You got it. Pray is the number one. Second one is set clear goals. Set clear goals. Huh? You need to understand what's going on and what you want to accomplish. That way, when you know what you want to accomplish, we can go after that. When we talk about organizational development, one of those things is your who, what, when, where, why, and even how. How are you going to do it? And so that's what we're trying to make sure. Number three is make a list of 10 people. Now, we're talking about 5-minute fundraising plan. Make a list of people that you want to connect with. In my 1-minute prayer, I tell everybody, give me a list of 10 people you're praying for and 10 things you're giving God thanks for. Here in Kingdom Fundraising, your 5-minute fundraising plan is come up with 10 people. I just did that with a team, and I asked them, I said, okay, for example, We're talking about a $50,000 to $100,000 fundraiser. You ready for this? We're talking about $100,000 fundraiser. Watch this. They've been in business 20 years, and they're connected to a church that's 133 years old this year. Those members and those part of this organization have utilized stores, businesses, foundations, hospitals, banks, all of these years. You too. This is a tidbit you need to grab. So whoever you have did funding with or finance with or bought from, you've given your money to, those are clients of yours where you can go back to them and say, hey, look, I'm doing a fundraiser. I need this, I need that, I need this. Whatever the resources that client, they become now your client. You was the client, they become yours now. Reverse it. Go back to them. There's somebody in that organization that you can meet with that can tell you, hey, well, we can't give you money, but we can give you this. We can't give you that, but we can do this. It's an exchange to help build your organization and strengthen your organization where you need help, okay? So 10 people. Who are the 10 people that you want to connect with that will help you? Who are the 10 people that you want to connect with that can help you meet the goal? Number 4, share your story. When you connect with these people, share your story. And don't try to preach to them. Don't try to be all day. Just share your story. Tell them where you come from. We call it a signature talk. You can do a study on it, signature talk. Learn your signature talk. Many of us that are doing signature talk, we go on stage and we get to tell our story. Are you with me? I like that. Tell your stories, success stories. People you have helped. I just told you about the young lady who about Debbie, who we worked together a year ago on a grant, and it took them forever to get all of that funding in place. But here we go, a year later, a whole year later, she's doing the process. She's still doing the process of doing what she did. And guess what? A $1.9 million. That's a success story that I'm able to say that I was a part of. And I'm grateful. Watch this. Me and my wife were talking about it yesterday. She did not have to call me and tell me she was successful. She didn't have to tell me. I didn't have to know. I would have never known she was successful. She had did that. But because when you do what you do successfully, people want to share the victories. And I'm so grateful that she wanted to do that. The 5th one is follow-up. I actually had her name on a list, Brother Gerald Barnes' name on a list. People, when you do, your sister Jalen I talked about, people I've known for 2 or 3 years because we built relationships and we stayed in touch with each other. I'm able now to help them with their new nonprofits launch what God has called them to do. Are you with me? So you want to make sure the 5th one is follow-up. 1st one is pray. 2nd one is set clear goals. 3rd one is make a list of 10 people. 4th one is share your victories, your stories. And number 5, follow-up. Pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, how you doing? Even if they didn't get your funding, check on them. Send a card or note something. That way people know that you're serious about what you're trying to do. All right? So make sure that that's what you're trying to do. You got that? You got that? Now, I went all the way back to, because that's faith-based fundraising, made simple. 5 steps, that's faith-based fundraising, made simple. Okay, come on back to where I'm supposed to be. Now let's talk about those 3. I want to give you this one here today because I got 3 more things for you, and then I'm gonna let you go. We're talking about kingdom, understanding the landscape. That's what we're talking about today. Understanding the landscape of fundraising, right? Staying mission focused and understanding the landscape. So I'm gonna give you 3 more things, and then I'm gonna send you out of here. 3 keys. There's 3 strategies that I want to give you today. I gave you 4 5-minute things, and 5 of these things that you could do well. 5 fundraising tips, plans. Now I'm going to give you some strategies. I don't try to do this weekly without giving you something you can actually use. Watch this. Number 1. Diversify your funding streams. Okay, now in this landscape, while things are changing, we named the landscape, right? Do you remember what the landscape is? First one is political, economical, spiritual, physical, mental. Political, uh, political, economical, spiritual, physical, mental. All O. They all end with that. Spiritual, education. I mean, even educational for that matter. Okay, so now here we want to do. I'm gonna give you 5 strategies to help you with that. And that's the first one: diversify your streams. Don't just be in one funding opportunity. Go to one grant writer or one funding source. You want to diversify. You want to make sure you have a lot. That's why I gave you those things earlier. 10 people, 10 contacts, 10 businesses, 10 organizations that you can connect with. And the more you diversify, the more opportunity you have to do what? To meet the goal that you're trying to meet. If Walmart, Kmart, what is it, Starbucks, Home Depot, Lowe's, bank, hospitals, foundation. That's 8 I just gave you right now. Local, city, state, federal. That's 10 ways to do so. 10 I just gave you right now. Oh, I know y'all gonna go back and read this over, huh? In order to understand the landscape, you need to know those things. You got businesses, again, you got Lowe's, Home Depot, Staples, or Office Max. Start naming the landscape around you. Huh? Give me 10. And then when you do that, guess what? You start reaching out to those individuals. So you want to, again, diversify your funding. Those organizations sometimes are looking for big grants, but you can go to those same organizations that we just met and start getting small money, 2,000 here, 5,000 there. And you build your reputation with those individuals, they start leading you to the corporate dollars. Now you're talking about 25 and 50. We just got a $3,500 grant here from, I'm going to just say it like it is, PNC Bank. $3,500 from PNC Bank. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's going to help us host a wealth and health summit in April. It allows us to pay for the things in that PNC Bank. Now that's $3,500 cash, but they're bringing the banners, they're bringing the people to talk, they're bringing the resources for people to have. So if $3,500 ends up being $5,000 or $10,000, right? They're bringing the executive to partner with the community. That $3,500. What can you do with $3,500? I gave you an idea what I'm doing with it. You can do the same thing. All right. Second thing is engage your community consistently. That's exactly what we're doing. Number 2, in this, I'm now talking about how to deal with the landscape again. The first one was your 5-minute fundraising plan. Now I'm talking about how to deal with the landscape. The first one was diversify your funding. The second one is engage your community consistently. Stay involved. You got to be a networker. You can't be an island. You have to be out in the field. People need to know who you are. Go sit in the room. Let me say that again. Go sit in the room. Make your people, they'll find you. Sometimes just being there, they'll come and introduce themselves to you. You might not want to, you're not being out there. You might not, you might be an introvert. Is that what they call it? But if you're in the room, people will know you're in the room. They'll start seeing you. Now you're engaging the community. And if you're out there enough, they'll start asking what you do. That's why you have to know your story. Earlier, we talked about the story. You ought to know what story. When they ask you, hey, who are you? Who are you with? What do you do? And you need an elevator pitch. Because they may sit down with you or stand there by the doorway with you for a few moments because somebody's going to come get them. So while they're there with you, you need to be able to share your story. Engage the community. And the third one is adapt and stay relevant. In this landscape, you got to adapt and you got to stay relevant. You got to make the shift when it needs to make the shift. Here's an example. Politically, We talked about those political. We talked about economical. We talked about spiritual, physical, mental. So, for example, political, there's a landscape that's shifting here, and they may not have this department of this funding right here. But at some point, at some point, they're going to shift and come out with dollars for whatever funding opportunity that they want to come up with. So you need to be able to make the shift. Don't change your mission. Don't change your vision, but make the shift to know how to attach your vision to what's out there. Render under Caesar, which is Caesar. Render under God, which is God. And when we make these things, when we diversify our funding, when we engage the community, we know what's going on out there. We're out there, we're listening, and we find out what people are doing and how they're giving out the money because we're engaged. We're giving and we're taking. We're receiving and we're giving. And for that reason, they begin to tell us, well, are you aware? Or have you tried this? Well, come join us with that. Let's partner together. Now you can adopt and stay relevant. You can make your program to work for the people you come to serve because you now know what's available. All right? The landscape. Understanding the landscape for fundraising. Understanding the landscape of fundraising. Know what to do. All right? I hope I said something to help you with that today. I know I talked a little bit fast. Go back and watch the video. It's on the page. You can't miss it because we make sure it's available for you right there at the YouTube channel. You got to subscribe. Go get it. And I promise if you go get it, you'll get what you need, all right? Go to Linktree, get all of our pages, all of our social media. Don't forget to join us live every Friday right here for Kingdom Fundraisers Live now. Look for our materials coming out soon. I asked you earlier in the beginning when we talked about the 5-minute fundraising plan. The first part of the plan is pray. You know, there are some things in the way trying to stop our progress, and I need you all to pray with me so those things can be loose. I heard the Lord say, loose it and let it go. Come on, say that with me. Loose it and let it go. Because God knows. I have faith. I trust him, but I know he's going to make it all right. Listen, everybody, thanks for joining me today. There it is, Brother Mark. Say that again. I need your prayers and your help for the Lord to loose it and Satan to let it go. In the name of Jesus, it is so. Love you guys. Hey, the evangelist said that. That wasn't Mark. The evangelist said that. God bless you. I know that you're praying with us. Thank you so much for that. I received that in the name of Jesus. All right, y'all, I got to go. Thanks for joining me. Go back, watch the video, get the lesson, understand the landscape we're in politically, economically, spiritually, physically, and emotionally or mentally. Understand the landscape so that you can make the adjustments that you need to make to help your organization thrive in 25. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And I'll see you next week.